Sharon Counsel. Come on in and help yourself. The Help Yourself experience is a fitness center for enhancing professional and personal life skills. Today's topic is sell, sell, sold. Meet the salesperson of your dreams. This information should not take the place of talking with your doctor or healthcare professional about how to manage and treat stress, anger, or anxiety. If you are like most sales professionals, you are always looking for ways to overcome customer objections and close the sale, right? We're going to explore the key concepts of the selling process that deals primarily with people. Have paper and pen ready because you're going to meet the salesperson of your dreams, you. Here's our objectives for today. We will define major key terms that we'll use in the presentation today. We'll share a 5-step formula for success. Identify the objections that you encounter most frequently. Develop appropriate responses when prospective buyers throw you a curve. And we'll talk about ways to disarm objections with proven rebuttals that get the sale back on track. Selling is the foundation of a system from housewives to presidents because everybody's involved in selling of one kind or another. It might be a product or an idea, but the art of persuasion is there. Salespeople are of vital importance to society. In today's business world, effective salespeople are more critical than ever before to their company's profitability. Your effectiveness can significantly impact, for better or worse, the bottom line. What is selling? Here's what we have come up with. Selling can be defined as getting people to see a need and then buy products or services. Selling could also be considered a consulting and problem-solving profession. Are you a successful salesperson? Being successful is knowing why something went wrong in the sales situation and what to do about it. Therefore, your objective is to be aware of what is happening when selling and dealing with people, and to be aware of what it is they are saying and doing. You are in the business of dealing with people, and the selling process occurs through the prospect, not the salesperson. Let's hear what others are saying about what they believe are important characteristics of a successful salesperson. Now, using a sheet of paper, draw a line down the center of the paper to make 2 columns. Label the column on the left as successful and the column on the right unsuccessful. As you listen to each person, write down each characteristic that describe you. Let's listen.
To me, the characteristics of a successful salesperson is someone who understands what the customer really wants.
Yes, and with that being said, they also need to be very knowledgeable about their products, so that way they can calibrate what the customer wants and what they need to what actually the product, the features of the product.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think the person should be personable as well. They have to be social and have the communication skills to close the sale itself.
That's correct. They have to be an effective listener and be able to really connect and find common ground with the customer.
And I believe they should bring some type of clarity. For example, when the customer tells them something that they want, they should repeat it back to make sure that they've understood.
Here's what was said. Understanding what the customer wants, product knowledge, being personable, having the skills to be able to close the sale, good communication skills, effective listener, being clear by repeating what the customer has said, being polite and courteous, respectful, not over-talking the customer, and self-confident. Here's a few others that we'll list. Take a moment or two to think and list some characteristics on your own. How many characteristics could you identify with? 1, 2, 3, more? Now, let's hear from the same people as they describe an unsuccessful salesperson. Let's listen.
Well, I think grooming makes for a very bad first impression. It definitely makes for an unprofessional salesperson.
Yeah, and it's another thing that I always pick up on is when they're too aggressive. That can be a turnoff to people if they're trying to get something over on them.
Yeah, you feel like you're with a used car salesperson. No one wants to feel that way. And another thing, too, is they're really not into what you want. It's more about what they want.
You know what I really don't like? I really don't like the salesperson that doesn't know what they're selling. I see that all the time. You walk into the store and you know more about the product that you're buying than the salesperson does. I don't understand how that happens.
They should at least say, I'm new at this. I don't really know it that well, but let's go through the brochure together, make sure, all things are on point, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find someone who does, and I'll get you the answer. I have more confidence in someone who's honest than someone who's just trying to get over.
Integrity. A salesperson not having integrity and not being honest is that's a cornerstone for me.
Well, someone with a poor attitude who gives off the impression that they don't even want to be at work that day.
Yes.
I'm like, you should have called in, or you should have, or found something else to do. If you worked all day and you go to a store to purchase something, you're giving that all you got. So to encounter someone who really doesn't want to be there,
yeah, it's definitely a turn off where you turn back around and walk out the store.
Oh, and someone who takes their time. Oh my God, I have to wait around for you to go get the product, and I have to wait for you to explain it to me. Then I have to wait for you to ring it up.
then I have to wait for you to finish talking to your friends about what you did last night. But y'all not even trying here.
Well, here's what was said. Poor grooming, overly aggressive, not focused on the customer needs but on their own needs, lack of product knowledge, lack of integrity, poor attitude, and slow to respond to the customer or simply lack of attention. Take a moment or two to think and list others on your own. How many characteristics could you identify with? 1, 2, 3, more? Now, let's total each column. Let's see how well we've done. Do you have more items in the left column, successful, than you have in the right column, unsuccessful? Either way, let's continue on and see how we can improve our score. Here's a 5-step formula to success. Number 1, find out the prospect's need. Number 2, gain the confidence of the prospect. Number 3, sell the solution. Number 4, anticipate and overcome objections. And number 5, make the close. The first step in our formula to success is find out the prospect's needs. Here's the challenge. What information will you need to know and how will you obtain it? Selling is not talking someone into doing something they don't want to do. People love to buy. The idea is to show your customer how their image will be enhanced to themselves and to others when they buy your product or service. Establish yourself and your product as a self-image builder. Here's the solution. You can discover the prospect's needs, feelings, and problems through questioning, establishing, and listening. Effective selling is an interview process in which the seller must first establish a connection or association to create an understanding. This interview accomplishes the following. It gains information, clarifies problems and their causes, discovers how the seller's solution can solve these problems. The second step in our formula to success is gain the confidence of the prospect. People will buy simply because they feel that you understand them. However, do not be insincere in attempting to flatter a customer. A compliment should be sincere, specific, and should relate to something of real interest to the person. By asking fact-finding questions, you will gain objective kinds of information and build a sense of trust and confidence with the customer. The simple act of taking notes on what the seller is saying shows concern. You should then follow with questions that problem personal feelings, attitudes, and emotions. Then guide the customer to the product or service as a solution to the problem. Make the customer aware of the differences between the way things are and how they can be. If you believe that selling is a conflict, then your value judgment will be reflected in your attitude and behavior toward a prospect or client. The prospect will respond as an opponent because they will come across your negative tone. Effective selling is not a conflict. It is accomplished with the prospect, not at him or her. This is the positive problem-solving approach. The third step in our formula for success is sell the solution. Use the drama to sell the solution. You know, the drama acronym: demonstrate, recommend, arithmetic, measure, assure. Demonstrate. People buy solutions to their problems. So explain the importance of presenting and visualizing your product or service as a solution. When the prospect mentally owns the product or service, you can more effectively convince them to own it in reality. Recommend. Your role is to play yourself. You are establishing a relationship with another person who needs solutions. The goal is to help the prospect feel good by asking for help. That approach assists the prospect in building self-image. Arithmetic. Be discreet with the use of the words spend, buy, and pay. Talk about investments and cost advantages instead. For example, you could ask, have you planned for this investment? People buy emotionally and make decisions intellectually. And the reason you give for someone to buy should be the buyer's reasons, not the seller's. And then measure. Once you have the attention of the prospect, the next step is to generate interest in the product being sold. The prospective buyer is really only interested in what the product can do for him. So sell benefits, not features. What's the difference? The difference between a feature and a measurable benefit is the difference between the product you're selling and any advantage or value associated with that product. Features have to do with things. Advantages have to do with people. The goal is to prove that the benefits will do what they claim. How will your product prevent the customer from experiencing such negative things as pain, discomfort, loss of esteem, or embarrassment? How will it provide positive, measurable benefits like success, recognition, pleasure, approval, and benefits that outweigh the cost? Assure. A prospect will not accept the product as a solution until he is satisfied with your answers to 3 major questions. Will it work? Is it the best? And will it be the best in the future? The fourth step in our formula to success is anticipate and overcome objections. Most objections are essentially questions that the salesperson can help the prospect discover just by explaining and guiding, not arguing and pushing. Objections are really a technique the buyer uses to slow down and to make sure he or she isn't rushing into the sale. Dealing with objections sometimes seems to be the salesperson's worst nightmare. However, when you are prepared and know your product or service, responding to objections is another way to reinforce the value of your offerings. The simple question, why, often will uncover the real objection. Objections can frequently be interpreted as buying signals and guides to the prospect's thinking. And if you, the salesperson, can satisfactorily explain away the objections, you will have a buying customer. Handling objections. Here are some tips that you can apply to all objections. When your client is objecting, hear him or her out. Don't leap in too soon with your response. Make certain you are clear about what the objection truly is. Feed the objection back to the buyer to be sure you are both on the same page. Respond to the objection. Think of this as another opportunity to sell your product or service and put it in a good light. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback. For example, have I been clear enough, or are there still some questions you'd like to ask? Let's take a look at a few scenarios. Here's one example. Lisa, who is the salesperson, is selling widgets for her company. Letitia, who is a potential customer, is a little hesitant to buy. Let's see how Lisa handles Letitia's objections and concerns and then close the sale. Let's watch.
Well, how you doing, Letitia? It's so good to see you today.
Good morning.
So you're here for your product, and we're ready to talk about any concerns you may have.
Here we see that Letitia is concerned about purchasing the service plan.
Yes, I am interested in the product and the service plan that it has to offer.
Good, good. What are some of your questions?
Some of our questions or concerns are the quality of the product as well as any service plans that you have with it.
Phrasing her objection to ensure she understands her concern.
Well, I can understand your hesitation in regard to a 5-year service plan. It does seem like a long term, doesn't it?
Here, the salesperson is responding to the objection. Lisa is even using it as an opportunity to enhance the product's value and describe selling features. Let's continue to watch.
Yes, it does. It looks like quite a commitment to make.
It is, but what we're offering you is peace of mind. And that's really good because every year you get your product serviced at least once a year, and you really need that for the good lifetime term of that product. The other thing, too, is we'll call and remind you of your service appointments. It's not something that you need to even worry about remembering.
Here's the direct question that propels the buyer into action.
Well, it sounds like it's pretty convenient in that you're looking out for the best interests. So it sounds like something I would be able to move forward with.
Well, that's exactly right. When we want something to last a long time, we're going to look after your best interests. So what we can do is go ahead and move forward. So is that what you're prepared to do today?
Yes, I prefer to do that today.
Okay, great. I'll go ahead and start the paperwork for you.
Good, thank you.
The fifth and final step in our formula for success is make the close. The goal of your presentation is to make the close, and you need a strong desire to close. You must constantly pay for it. The entire presentation is in fact, a closing process. Here's an example. You are helping the prospect solve a problem by providing a solution. You assume the prospect will buy. In that sense, you are functioning in the role of the counselor as you clarify the prospect's thinking and resolve his or her conflicts. Your close permeates the entire presentation. However, you finalize the close only when the prospect is ready, after he or she understands the savings involved and the benefits he or she will enjoy. You testify on both sides of the issue so the prospect can judge for himself. And don't forget, thank you notes. Thank you notes are very powerful. Never underestimate the power of the thank you note. If you get the sale, send them a note thanking them for their order. If you don't get the sale, send them a note thanking them for taking the time to meet you. Here are 5 major mistakes that salespeople frequently make. Number 1, being indifferent or having a negative attitude. Number 2, arguing or being disengaged with the customer. Number 3, selling the wrong product to the wrong person. Number 4, making false claims. And number 5, giving over technical information. Let's take a look at each. Number 1, being indifferent or having a negative attitude. Being indifferent is just as much of a turnoff as having a negative attitude. Let's first take a look at a salesperson that is unwilling to assist a customer with a potential phone purchase. Note the bewilderment on the potential customer's face when she finds that the salesperson is disengaged in making the sale. Let's take a look.
Well, hi, welcome to our store.
Hi, I've never been in here before. This is pretty new. You've been here for a while?
Yeah, we've been here a little while. We got a lot of stuff.
Well, it's like you have a lot of nice new phones in here, and they have a lot of new features. I really wish I could find something that really works for me.
I understand. I have a phone. I just look at the colors.
Now, let's take another look at the salesperson who is not having a good day and takes her attitude out on a potential customer. Potential customer? Well, not after the customer meets this salesperson. Let's take a look.
You need something?
Well, good morning.
Oh, good morning. It's too early for me. You need something?
Yes, I'm actually shopping for a phone, and I need to get some assistance with determining what would be the best phone for me.
Well, I'm about to go on my break. I ain't got time to be talking about the phone right now. Let me see if I can find somebody. Ramon, somebody over there. Come help her, because I got to go on my break right now. I'm sorry, I just got here. I ain't had no coffee, no latte. Anybody give me a ride to Starbucks?
Well, can you just direct me to where the phones are that can...
I said he was over there. They're over there.
Over there?
Number 2, arguing or disrespecting the customer. In this particular scenario, note how the customer is instantly accused of disrespecting the salesperson, when in fact, the potential customer has been nothing but courteous and polite. Let's take a peek.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You doing well this morning?
I said good morning. I mean, what do you want?
Okay.
You ain't got to snap at me. You ain't got to be like that.
I'm just looking
Why you got to give me attitude? It's early in the morning. I said morning. I tell you, what you want, honey?
I'm just looking for a phone, and I was wondering if I could get some assistance or guidance. I've never been in a store before.
You know, I really don't like your attitude right now. I don't like the way you coming off on me, and You ain't got to curse at me.
Okay.
Why she got to be like that?
Wow. Number 3, selling the wrong product to the wrong person. Now, in this scenario, the salesperson is trying to sell the wrong product to the wrong person. The salesperson shows the customer a black display phone that he likes, but is no longer available in the color he wants. The phone is now only available in pink, which is not what the customer wants. The salesperson then attempts to pressure the potential customer into purchasing a product he doesn't want. Let's take a look.
And this phone is great for you, Ramon, because it comes in my favorite color, pink. You'll like that. Pink is good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't purchase a pink phone.
Excuse me?
I said I just can't purchase a pink phone.
Look, we have no other color but pink. Pink is all you can get. That's it. You don't have an option. Everybody likes pink. Pink polka dots, pink stripes, pink phones.
So what about the black phone over there?
We don't have that color anymore. All we've got left is pink, which makes sense because pink is in high demand. Pink is in.
Well, could you order it in black? I mean, I'll wait for it. I'll pay extra.
Nope, you get a $20 discount today when you get it in pink. We have it right in stock. This phone is the phone for you. You already said you like the features, you like the keys. I mean, what more could you actually ask for besides the best color in the whole wide world? And that's pink. It doesn't scream pink. It says pink.
Okay. Wow. So out of all the phones in the store, all we have is a pink phone?
It's not just a pink phone. It's a pink phone.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't purchase a pink phone.
What do you mean you can't purchase a pink phone? I just don't understand. Pink is in. You're going to look so here. Put that right next to you. Pink. You get your feminine side. Pink. People understand pink.
Very interesting. Number 4, making false claims. Here we have the salesperson is making false claims. She states that each time the customer uses the phone to make a call, he will receive 50,000 points that he can redeem for travel. Notice how the salesperson asks the potential customer where he would like to travel and then tries to convince them that by purchasing the phone and making one phone call, they can be there. Let's look.
This phone. Just kind of curious to why I should buy this phone over, say, that phone there.
Well, every time you use this phone, you get points. You get 50,000 points.
50,000 points?
50,000. You know what's going to happen as soon as you get 100,000 points? They send you coupons for free trips.
Free trips?
Like, where you want to go?
I would love to go to Jamaica.
My mom and sister just went to Jamaica, and I sold them that phone.
This phone?
That phone.
Then I
All my mom
calls.
is just dial out. She don't even use a keyboard.
And I just make calls on it and I get points?
50,000 points a call. You can't beat that. Jamaica, Aruba. I just got back from Cancun.
Really? I love it.
Oh, man, it was all that and so much more.
So I can go to Cancun just by making phone calls on
Yeah.
this phone?
All you got to do is get your passport. That's it. Get your passport so you can get out of the country. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You got your passport yet?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, let's go. I got a party of 4 right now. They got their coupons. They ready to go. I'm ready to go to Puerto Rico. Hey, you know they don't work 4 days a week in Puerto Rico? Fridays off because that's a day of relaxation. We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and only work Monday through Thursday. I wish I was born Puerto Rican.
Sure would like to have that phone. Number 5, giving over technical information. In this final scenario, the customer made a phone selection, and instead of the salesperson explaining the basic features and usage of the phone, the salesperson provides over technical information to the potential customer. Note here how confused and disengaged the potential customer becomes. Little do the salesperson know that the sale she made is the same sale she has lost. Let's take a look.
Now, this phone has GSM, and GSM allows you to travel all over the world. It actually gives you a signal in Mexico and all the European nations like Paris and France. Now, if you think about it, this phone, when you take off the back, let's say if you dropped it, it would just fall apart just like that. It is made out of polyamide. You ever heard of polyamide? It's an acrylic-type based material formulated out of several different types of particles of plastic. And it's what football helmets are made out of. That's why they never get dented and scratched, but never dented. Now, the other thing about this phone is it has one of these batteries in it that lasts a lifetime. Now, make sure you don't leave it in the car in extreme heat, or it could go through meltdown your phone, and that's not covered under warranty. Now, also, this connects to a switch, a high-frequency switch that allows you to see all the numbers that are connected and associated with our particular service. As you go in there, you can see every call that comes out, every call that comes in. So we always keep track of the airtime that you are using. Now, we have towers that take you from place to place to place. So as you travel, the signal is moving from tower to tower to tower to tower to tower all over the country. Now, the great thing about it is it's connected to a satellite system. The satellite system beams down on the towers and allows you to go into space and allows us to always hear all the chatter. But that is converted into monosyllable replies. You can't even hardly understand, and I wouldn't even worry about it. It's a great phone. Now, as you use this phone, remember, you can always snap it right back together, because that's the great thing about polyamide. It just allows you to snap it right back together, so you don't have any worries about your phone breaking. Okay, do you have any additional questions?
What's the tower?
You don't know what a tower is? Well, let me explain it to you. A tower is made much like the Eiffel Tower. It's shaped sort of like this, and has all these little grooves and compartments in it. And it stands up probably about...
Has that ever happened to you? Now, let's look back over your list and note areas where you can improve your sales techniques. Now, let's review sales, sell, sold. Here's our summary in a capsule. We defined major key terms used in this presentation today. We shared a 5-step formula to success. We identified frequent objections and developed appropriate responses to objections. I've enjoyed being with you and hope to see you again. Thank you for watching the Help Yourself Experience. I'm Sharon Counsell. If you would like more information, I can be reached via email at the Help Yourself Experience. That's THEHY Experience @gmail.com, or call area code 919-218-8883. A long time ago, a wise person once said, "In all you're getting, get understanding." See you next time.